Hello everyone, I am glad you're here. Today I want to talk about all these home remedies for when you are sick with the flu. Now if you follow me, you'll know that I had the flu not too long ago. And it was terrible. Just awful. The flu is probably one of the worst viruses you can get as far as how you feel. So, both my son and I were sick with it, but he seemed to get over it quicker than I did, and maybe that's because he's younger than me. But I started with, it hit me in the middle of the night basically, and it lasted almost pretty much a week. But then after that, I had at least a solid week of stomach issues. My stomach would go from feeling nauseous to like burning. Felt like there was just an ocean of acid in my stomach. So one of the first things, or the biggest thing, the title of this video is, does elderberry syrup really work? And I'm going to tell you, it depends. It depends on what you're using it for. Now I know there are a lot of people that would use elderberry syrup as a preventative. I haven't done that. I've heard people say that it really has helped if they've been around other people with colds and flus. It kept them from getting it. I don't know, if that's true or not, but it very well could be. I just didn't use it for that. I used it for the cough. Now that whole first week, I didn't have the, I wasn't coughing a lot, but when I did cough, it was really deep and phlegmy, and it actually hurt my throat. And it was more the second week, and even until now, that I still seem to cough a bit. And it really does work for that. If you're coughing a lot, as an adult, I would say take a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons probably every hour. And it's really great because just within the first few minutes, you'll notice right away that your cough has definitely calmed down. And you can use it on kids. If they have a bad cough, I'd say give them a teaspoon every hour. If it's a really consistent, like something, they're coughing every 2-3 minutes. If it's not as often, just give it to them less often. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt you. It's a syrup, and it has sugar in it. But that's why but it can be expensive to give it that often if you're buying it at the store. So that's why I really do recommend making your own. If you're in an area that doesn't have any elderberries or the wrong time of the year, you can always make the syrup out of dried elderberries. And I'll leave you a link to a good place to get them from, or a good seller, because this stuff works great. And I canned this 2 years ago, and it's still wonderful. Another question I get is the whole vitamin thing, right? So I didn't think of it in time, basically. How they say try and get zinc, or those lozenges, the zinc, which I also have those. But I didn't think of it till I was like 2.5 days in. So I did start taking the zinc. I did take, I had already been taking vitamin D kind of off and on. And then I started taking some garlic. And honestly, I don't think any of them really helped that much. Maybe they did, and but with symptoms, they didn't seem to do a whole lot of anything. And I think part of that is because I didn't get it in that right window. So I'm telling you, as soon as you feel those symptoms, and they'll come on quick, you'll know what they are, start for sure with the zinc, some vitamin C if you aren't taking it already, and make sure you have your D too, because hopefully that will really shorten the duration of your sickness. Now, as far as teas go, actually when I was sick, I didn't want to eat hardly anything unless it was, like fruit or something cold. I didn't drink any coffee because it didn't even sound good. So I was going in between drinking cold and hot, actually. I was just really thirsty the whole time. And I didn't have a fever. So I was drinking a lot of water, and then like the sugar-free Kool-Aid that I like. Sugar-free grape is my favorite. Anyhow, I also was drinking a lot of tea. And a lot of people will recommend ginger tea. And you can use, whatever you buy at the store. You can use your own ginger, if you have it. You can use dried, you can use fresh, whichever you prefer. I don't know if it really helped or not, the ginger. It was comforting to drink. It felt good. It warms you up, So I guess if you have chills, the ginger tea will really help to warm you up. It is a warming spice. I didn't have the chills. I happen to be hot most of the time, but my son had the chills. So ginger is really good for that. Then, which I'm almost on up here, chamomile. The chamomile too was very comforting. It did, I don't know, I slept a lot when I was sick, but the chamomile may have helped with that, because it's a good anti-anxiety kind of herb, and it just gives you this real calming effect. And that's too why I think they put it in a lot of blends for nighttime to help you sleep. So the chamomile did help. But this was my number one, mint. Now, I know a lot of times they say peppermint, but I don't care for peppermint. So this is spearmint that I grew myself. And this works wonderful for stomach issues. So whether I had the nausea or the acidy feeling in my stomach, the tea worked beautiful. Well, I love mint tea anyhow, but truthfully, after just 2 or 3 sips, my stomach felt good again. It was incredible how fast this worked for me. So I really recommend you having some mint tea on hand, for any little stomach upset, or, if you end up with the flu or even a cold, because the more you drink, the more that stuff can come out, So other things I did in my diffuser, because I would go between being stuffed up and runny nose and all that kind of stuff. At night, I would run, oh geez Louise, I forgot the name of it. Eucalyptus. I put eucalyptus oil in there, and I used rosemary, because rosemary is, it's really good for respiratory issues. And a lot of times when you're lying down, that's when that gook comes up and you have them coughing fits. It's a good healer, let's say that. And then I did put a few drops of peppermint oil in there as well, and it really did seem to help. But when I was at my worst with the stuffy, I was stuffy, yet I kept sneezing. And you know how you get that where you feel like you have to sneeze, but you don't. And so your eyes water up and everything. Oh, it's annoying. So that's when I would do a steam. So you just boil some water on the stove, small pot, nothing big. You add oils to that, and a lot less of these powerful oils like eucalyptus, because they're really strong. So you add a couple drops of that and just, put your head over the steam, put a towel around you, and just breathe that in. And that worked really well. You know, that really opened everything up, and I felt a lot better after doing that. So these are my tips or hints or whatever for what worked for me. It may be different for you and, you know, your neighbor or whatever else, but these are some of the common home remedies people try to do. And some of them work, some of them don't. Some of them you better time it right. So anyways, I would be really interested to hear from you about what has helped you out when you've had a cold or the flu. And I'm sure everybody else would like to know too. I mean, any little thing. I mean, I know I was cracking my windows trying to, you know, get bad air out and a little bit of fresh air in, and you know, we all have these little things. My sinuses were hurting, so I got a hot rag and put that, you know, but the steaming helped with that too. But anything you guys can share, that would be great. It'd be really nice to have all this information out there. And as always, it was nice talking to you. And you take care.